Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am that Shawn, and much to many of yours disappointment out there, I know I missed last week's show. And we, even though production was willing, Asif was willing to be able to move the date and try to reshoot, I tell you what, just a simple explanation, I could tell when I needed to get a booster shot. A lot of you know out there that I suffer from long COVID. Just saying that because sometimes in a show you maybe hear me run out of breath, as some of you already had noticed in a prior show that, you know, maybe I was showing some symptoms, and that's what it is, long COVID, leftover symptoms from having COVID from a long time ago. But what I can tell you is I received benefit from getting the vaccine with my brain fog and issues there. Well, funny thing is 5 months afterwards, it feels like I just fell off a cliff. So I was having a relapse of those symptoms. So hopefully with the booster, I'll get back on track, and I'll be here to absolutely give you some of the best shows that you can imagine. Now, here's the neat thing that happened because of that. I had some additional time to enter and go through and enter additional items of inventory that if you had the choice to wait a week longer to have these additional items to be able to get to choose from today, you would have chosen it. I know that's a big trade-off, but I think that you would have gone for some of the goodies that you're going to get to see today. And it was really neat, actually, kind of exploring in a way, looking into some areas of inventory that, you know, there's times I'll put up things over the years, and Raven certainly has, and then when you get them back out, it's like, wow, this is neat that I have some of these. So you're gonna find and some very exciting price points as well. Now, a lot of you new to the show, I already noticed that there's been a big uptick in viewership. And of course, that's what you get when you go over and are directly on YouTube. So I think that a lot of the regular, what we call our family members, old, longtime clients and friends of following me, have found me with no problem and have contributed to the comments. I want all the rest of you to join in as well. Not only can you get in on making any comments or questions about the show, but the trivia questions. You really want in on that, because I was actually just listening. You know, they're looking, some people in the past year, and since we started this 4 years ago, have won 15 and 20 times. In the past year, 2, 3, 4 times. So it's and everybody in one point or another wins, because it's a random drawing by the hat if there's more than one winner. And one week we only had a few people that entered. One person was right, and that was it. Easy to assign the winner that. And people get trivia and envy because there's good stuff I give away. It's just not some random inexpensive item, or it's an item that you wouldn't be able to easily locate or find anywhere. So make sure you follow the trivia and participate if you want to. Now, all your correspondence with me, very simple. You can just do a couple things. Go and just Shawn@gemshopping.com. Simple as that. Shawn@gemshopping.com. Can't go wrong there. Or go to leave to sign up for the trivia or answer the trivia. You can also go just to gemshopping.com, and then you'll see me right on the home page. Click on me, follow that. And what that gives you access to is all the other shows, which, with the number that you see on your screen, 24/7. This is a network that's been here for going on 30 years now, I think, close to it. And so 24/7, you can order and get anything you want, and the items are ready to ship, usually just right away. So that being said, any of the shows, not just the current ones, but any of the shows, if you want to find out if an item you see is still available, call that number, and you'll know in an instant and boy, it could be from 5 shows ago, 8 shows ago, however many shows ago. And if it's available, then you can instantly purchase it. So that's another big bonus for so many of you out there in the internet world. We have a huge network operation that is behind this Rock and Mineral show. So many of you out there who see these kind of shows and podcasts are used to probably a different level of operation, let's say. I have behind me not only a team that I've worked with for over, 10 years, but a network that, I've worked with for, going on 14 years, and, did a live show here for 9 years. So I haven't gone anywhere. The people I work with haven't gone anywhere. Gem Shopping hasn't gone anywhere. And we've done nothing but strived to bring you some of the finest, amazing pieces of jewelry in the live shows. And you can see those as well when you go to gemshopping.com. But the original roots of the company and the original founder was a big gem and rock hound and mineral enthusiast, as well as fossils. And because of that, I'm kind of the leftover remnant of those roots. And that's why what you can get from this show is the complete end of the knowledge base that you would need to turn around and, if you wanted to, buy a 6-figure piece of jewelry in the other shows, because we have them. Oh yeah, there's every range of price points. Some of the rarest gems are offered in those shows. And so if you want to learn it all, there is the how it's done series of, I counted just this morning, 30 different shows that range around 15 minutes each, that cover everything from how to size a platinum ring, how an entire ring is created, how a handmade piece is created, flush set, you name it. And many, many people have taken advantage of those sites. I saw by the number of people that had viewed them and used them for, just like Anthony has done, for a learning and reference tool. Or just if you want to know, it's like, why did my jeweler charge me so much to rebuild this prong? Well, in this How It's Done series, you can look up and see how a prong is rebuilt. And then the way Asif directed it, our director of production who shot the show, the way he directed me was so that you have the knowledge from the beginning to the end of the understanding as to why and what goes behind actually rebuilding that prong. Whether it be that a piece of metal has to be made to fit and look like the other prongs, or the time it takes to shape a bead that you place on an existing prong, all that. And so you get that knowledge and you get that sense of value to your dollar after that. So, and I advise any of you, if you, with anything that you've had done at Gem Shopping, to go and see the videos to see how it's done and know why platinum is so much more than gold, etc. So you get a lot out of those. Use Gem Shopping as a learning tool. And moving forward, yes, we are here on YouTube, not going to go anywhere as we have it. We have already got 4.5 years of podcasts under our belt, backed up. Gem Collectors with Shawn with 9 years of live shows behind that. So it's a well-oiled machine here with a huge support system and, of course, all the benefits of the return policies, the being able to use credit cards, all that a large company can provide. You have the benefit in this little show. So that said, just prefacing it, because I know a lot of new people have been joining and looking for this type of show. And this is a show that it is not all about show and sell. It's about show and tell as well. That's where you get the educational side to it. So let's get started. We have comments, of course, from a couple of weeks. So we're going to have to run through those a little quicker because I know you want me to get to the good stuff. No. So now let me just let everyone know when we do these comments, listening, along with me, but not in the same room, in the control booth, is the director of production. So he's going to hear this very first comment straight away. And I know it's probably nothing on this end of it, but he always gets to hear any technical issues as well, just like I pass on the shipping compliments or any issues. Same thing. So this show is interconnected in with all the other departments as needed. Okay, so we have Miss Susan from New Mexico. She said, audio was so poor I gave up watching. Well, it could be that you're in the backwoods of New Mexico with a burro or something, but I checked volume controls on both my computer and on the video. They were maxed. I checked again one of your how-to series on YouTube, and it was fine. So beyond that, I'd say give it a couple of kicks and let that dry air dry out the Coca-Cola that you spilled over on it, and you should be just fine after that. No, I'm just teasing. I'm sure it'll work better next time. I bought 2 of the turtle poop last week. They're going to great-grandchildren for show and tell and to be passed on to their younger siblings. I hope they end up donated to a science classroom when they have finished their rounds. Oh, absolutely. If any of you, and I'm sure there was quantity, so there's probably still available, go back and look in the last couple of shows we did, and we offered coprolites is the nice way you can, the nice IT word they gave to fossilized dinosaur dung or poop. And so there's probably some left over. They are great attention getters. You can have them on the table. I tell you what, party tricks, you got to have fossilized dinosaur dung. Yeah, it's a real show starter. And again, talk about bringing children into the world of fossils and of there's nothing better than something like that. They'll giggle about it, but they'll remember it and they'll think it's cool. And all it takes is something as simple as that to be hooked into something very in our science, which of course I always encourage. Never know what it takes. So great job on getting because the fossilized coprolites, the final dino dung, it looks exactly like it. And I thought of the bigger ones, the fun you could have in a pool, better than what kind of candy bar? Better than a Baby Ruth. So great learning tool, just a great learning tool, and help children to understand along with petrified wood, and really help a lot. All right, now we have Miss Barbara, who we know in Brooklyn. Just an additional note to say thank you for the wonderful trivia prize of a clear Pakistani fluorite that really lights up blue in ultraviolet light. Let me encourage everyone to participate in the trivia contest because it is educational, competitive, and you get really neat swag. Well, there you have it right there from a recent winner who got a really nice specimen of a piece of fluorite that if you tried to go find some, it might be difficult, and it had beautiful fluorescence. So rock on, she says. Now we have Miss Elisa. Miss Elisa in Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. Wow, thank you so much for the amazing Opal parcel. This is another client. She won an Opal parcel for a trivia gift. And it was the gray base Opal, right from Lightning Ridge. I literally jumped up and down while screaming. I couldn't believe it. Those are great reactions. If I'm going to just give it away Opal, that's a great reaction. I've wanted an Opal for years and have missed out on several ones you've previously offered. This truly was something I really wanted and don't have. Thank you. Thank you to the lovely Raven for parting with the gorgeous azurite with malachite piece. That was the perfect one I'd been waiting for to add to my collection as well. Things are magical with this show. Things happen to wind up with the right people. It's pretty neat. I have only 2 shows left to watch of your how-to series. Well done. Shawn, they are fantastic, and I have several friends who are currently watching them, plus have now started to watch your weekly show as well. Well, you better watch the weekly show. A lot of education comes in that show. Answers to the trivia. Okay, so I guess I should tell you what the questions were first, but her answer was rain, which was correct. the other answer was hematite, which is correct. So what the questions? What was the natural force of nature that helped create and bond shells into a concrete limestone mix? Okay, remember we talked about the coquina shells, and I showed you with that Ruck's Pit clam, that natural cement that they actually made the fort out of from there in St. Augustine. And it was a naturally formed cement created by, even back in the Pleistocene era, acid rain. And actually, during periods of volcanic activity, putting sulfuric gases into the air, it actually rose the percentage of sulfuric acid, basically, is what it turns into. And geology, time doesn't really matter. Geology has all the time it needs. All the time it needs. Reminds me of a Twilight Zone with Burgess Meredith when he loved books and always wanted time enough to read the books. And he happened to be in a vault in a bank when a nuclear explosion happened. He comes out, and what's left is the library. And I'll never forget the irony of this, and I felt so bad. And so nobody to pester him was left. And it was just Burgess Meredith, and he picked out all the books for this month, and this month, and this month. And you feel so excited for the guy, because that's all he wanted to do was time enough to read. And then his glasses fall off, and he steps on them and crushes his glasses. And of course, everything's been wiped out by a nuclear explosion. And so that was it. I mean, and so it was just kind of one of those unhappy endings to it, but you just never know which way life is going to take a turn. So in the case of time, those little rounded holes that you see either in individual small rocks or in the stones that along the Florida beaches, the large, like sometimes just they use it as riprap. Well, those round concentric holes were formed in time just over because of rainwater sitting, pooling, which will naturally gravitate to a circular form. And that's what did it. So the answer then was rainwater. Now, in an unusual deposit, what made the heulandite red in the Indian zeolite I showcased, I guess, two shows ago, or one show ago, this last show we had. What was it that made the heulandite an unusual color? Answer being hematite, iron oxide, just as hematite affects so many other items. So those were the questions. Let's continue on with the answers. So Miss Elisa said rain, then she said hematite, got both of those right. I'm looking forward to your next show and hope you offer something like the 7-stone parcel or the turquoise that I missed out. I'll have to be quicker to order next week. Thank you everyone for another great show. Stay safe and have a great week. Yeah, I love to hear the sales. But I hate to hear that, I could have sold more of, but that is what makes it special, is because we're just, the items are very personal to me. They're coming from my personal collection, and they're usually just one-ofs or, special. All right. Hi, Professor Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. This is from Miss Barbara in Brooklyn. Just got off the phone with Lim and snagged the sweet twin calcite thumbnail and the set of escrosites, which was the silver antimonite crystals. Being Tuesday dinner time, I was surprised they were still available. See, you never know. Don't just assume that something may have sold, because it's way cool. It's already been bought. You just never know. Fun show this week, and regular length too. I'm not happy until I sit so long viewing mineral specimens in front of the computer I can no longer feel my feet. Glad to see you're back on stride. I was on the move. And then I tripped. Miss Ursula sussed us out. Miss Gabby, Brad, and I tend to watch similar presentations, and I guess we picked out the unique things we come across to share here with the Greater Rock family. Nothing like all learning something new from the professor. As to the trivia, acid rain creates the coquina cement, and hematite colors the heulandite red. Tomorrow night, the New York Mineralogical Club has a monthly Zoom talk with the Gem and Mineral Trails in Tanzania. The club is celebrating 135 years and is splashing out on special shows. It should be interesting to see inside the mines at Tanzania 1. Yeah, that would be. Time to go watch Jeopardy. That's why you're so smart about so many other things. I'm only smart in one narrow-ended area. So well done, you getting the trivia right there. More info on the rhodochrosite from Colorado. The original Sweet Home mine is closed and sealed, as we know. But the owner has drilled a new mine in 2016 into the same deposit structure, only 60 meters higher up the mountain, called the Detroit City Portal. They have been displaying the new material from this site at trade shows and on their own website. Failing that, try looking at the superb red rhodos from the South Africa's manganese fields, dogtooth crystals on black sparkly matrix. Yes, I actually have had a couple of the African specimens, crystal specimens that I have offered before. And then, of course, the Sweet Home material, including I faceted that 12 karat one that I offered, I guess it was around 5 years ago. And it was one of the largest here at Gem Shopping. And I cut it from rough. It was a stunning, I have pictures I'll show you sometime, and a stunning custom cut I had put on that as well. So, yep, I know they're finding some new material. And of course, it's not going to be like the old days where at first the specimens, rhodochrosites, came out and they were affordable. Then the price has just gone out crazy out of sight. And now they're just coming out crazy out of sight in price. There's no, good deal at the front end of it. They know what they have. Miss Ursula, we covered that. So that was it. It's funny that Miss Ursula, wait till you hear another comment we have coming up regarding that. We have Miss Sue in Texas getting the acid rain right and the hematite right. So, but she opted out because she has won recently, and you don't have to do that. But a lot of people like to play the trivia anyway to see if they're right. So, and I encourage that. Even if you want to opt out of being partake as part of the winning process, just play the game. Okay, so, and this is what just happened. Okay, so she asked the other week what was a good book. I brought and showed her a picture of a good book. It was agreed upon by Miss Barbara, and of course she had the 13th edition of it. I had the 3rd edition. Gemstones of the World. So she says, I always enjoy your teaching lessons, Shawn. Thanks for sharing Gems of the World, 3rd edition. Well, that was mine. Which I did purchase. Finally found a new, reasonably priced hardback copy, $16 plus shipping, because some are selling for crazy prices, hundreds of dollars. Welcome to new members of our rock group family, wishing happiness and good health to old and new friends. And everyone will get to know Miss Sue in Texas as just another wonderful, wonderful, educated client and family member, like so many of the rest of you are. Now, $16 is a deal. I remember when I had my jewelry store, we actually sold that book in our jewelry store. And you know what? That's another thing. Always fear if a jewelry store doesn't sell you education about the gemstones that they sell. A lot of people don't want you to know about it, information. Of course, that's not the case here at Gem Shopping, and certainly not the case when I had my jewelry store. And it was like I encouraged people to learn more about the gemstone. So I had the book for sale. So I had to buy a case. And I remember, this is 15, 20 years ago. I remember then the books cost me, I think, like $12.95. And we just always sold them for cost. Or it might have been $16. No matter what, you got a great price, is what I'm trying to say. Great price, great price. Okay, got your message regarding the misadventured free item. So everything will circle back around, hopefully, and everybody will get the right, correct free item there. But thanks for making notes and letting me know that as it was passed on as well. We have Miss Gabby. Greetings once again to the entire GSN family. Here we go. All right. Miss Ursula, your comment had me laughing out loud. Thank you for referring to us as only the Three Musketeers and not the Three Stooges. I thought that was funny. Although Shawn may disagree. See, I did chuckle. Whichever you prefer. Please note that Brad is definitely the ringleader, and that's all I have to say about it. Yeah, I'm sure you don't add your fair share to the shenanigans between Miss Barbara, Miss Gabby, and Mr. Brad. Well, the Amethyst L is now on my coffee table, and the large iris quartz crystal is on its way to Florida. Yay for showing it again, Shawn. I had forgotten about it. You know what? When that came back, Raven and I said to each other, we said, this is our personal specimen. It sat in our window. We couldn't believe that actually had not sold. And so I told Raven, I said, okay, we'll show it one more time. If not, fine. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be back in our home. And of course, then, which is fine with us because I know now where it went. Miss Gabby spotted the item as what it was, which was a gorgeous polished iris quartz crystal. And so well done on getting that. Now, the amethyst L she's referring to, you got to go back and see the shell. It's, the geode-shaped cavities don't usually form in the shape where you'll get an L-shaped curve to a slice of the amethyst, but that's what she got. So it's a really unusual shaped piece of amethyst. So well done on getting that as well. My trivia answers: hematite and acid rain, opt out. All right. See you all next week. Stay safe and well. Okay, so now we have from Miss Peggy in South Carolina. Dearest Raven, Shawn, and favorite rock counts. I can't wait until next week when your show is longer. You mean when the show didn't happen at all? All my fault. Sorry. Like I said, I'll make it up. I told all my friends that you are now easier to find on YouTube. Also, this makes your show easier to share on my social media accounts. Congratulations as to your success with gem shopping. I can't believe I won the first YouTube giveaway. The prize is worth big time giveaway envy. Do you still have your wire wrapper person? I think these cat's eye tourmalines would make some great earrings. I also bought the rutilated quartz piece. I wonder if this can be drilled and a silver bail could be added. I would love to add this to a special piece to my jewelry collection. I looked at as far as the rutilated piece, and I was thinking, is it maybe the tourmalated quartz piece? I wasn't exactly sure which item you were referring to there. If it was rutilated, I got a little confused. So if it's tourmalated, then I know which one it is. And it might be iffy if we just direct drill it, which would be really the best way. So I'm not sure about that. Regarding the wire wrapping, I have to hunt him down. I have that job still for you, Miss Gabby. I haven't forgot about that. And as a matter of fact, inventory was on me to be able to follow up on it. So a lot of things have happened with him, and yes, I still have him. So let me track him down before I take on any other work and talk with him, make sure he's still on board. So yes, she actually won cat's eye acrolite, which is clear or white tourmaline cat's eye cabochon. Really, two of them. And really unusual and rare. And that was what she won for the trivia. That's what I said. Good stuff. May not always be worth a lot of money, but go out and try to find one. Go out and try to find one. That's just it. So to me, that adds value, whether the market says there's value or not. I wish it would stop raining. I hear the fall is coming, but I would not want to get the 2 buckets stuck again. No, we can't get the old excavator stuck. Be careful out there. Good luck in finding your gold. I have first dibs when you sell some of it. All right, fair enough. Yeah, if it wasn't actually for Raven, because I was in the throes of COVID when I got it stuck in a really good spot, it was a whole story in itself. But she was jumping across creeks, slinging cable wire around trees and wrapping back around the bucket. And yeah, I couldn't have done it without her. Yeah, small but mighty, as she describes herself. I gotta agree. All right, trivia. This was from the other week. So she got the answers right, which was the alexandrite and the fact that the Jeffrey mine has 112 discovered minerals in it. Shawn, you really help me get through the week sometimes. Please accept my heartfelt thanks. You are such an amazing person. Find your joy. Please, please see the doctor. Love, Peg. Peg, with comments like that and kind words like that, That's what it's about for me. That really matters. Thank you. Miss Ursula, we always like to hear from Miss Ursula. Shawn, hello, and what a fun show you had scheduled for us today. Miss Barbara hit the nail on the head regarding stage fright at the beginning of last week's podcast, but there was no hesitation detected in you today. Awesome. Yeah, that show I was a little frazzled and didn't feel great, and I apologize because I knew it was noticeable. I knew. But hematite is the cause for the heulandite specimen to turn red, while acid rain, all things bond in the shell substance type of concrete mix. Great job on getting the answer right. While researching how many gems and minerals have been found at Graves Mountain Mine, I did learn that starlight has been Georgia's official state mineral since 1976. You featured this remarkable twin crystal once before on your show, maybe at the beginning of last year. You would not think that andalusite is a polymorph of kyanite and sillimanite until you realize they are both aluminum silicate minerals. What astounded me even more so was the fact that chiastolite, a rare version of sillimanite, is referred to as cross stone, similar to starlight. Working with sulfuric acid as well as nitric acid should be accompanied with words of caution. Please don't try this at home. It certainly did the trick for you, but apparently not for your lawn. No, it didn't. It was an amazing reaction in the process of refining gold. And I do that as well, which is a whole bunch of science and chemistry to it. So love it. Yes, chiastolite, I've actually sold those here before. And really neat stones. I've actually had some really nice ones that I've offered. Shawn, I've lost count how many lessons were taken away from your podcast today. And for this, I am very grateful. Sincerely, Miss Ursula. Wow, very kind. Thank you. Maybe you could feature the following trivia question at a later date. How many lessons were included in this episode? LOL, she says. Miss Ursula. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello all. Went back into my mail and retrieved last week's comments. Not sure why Shawn's copy said Alexandrite isn't Alexandrite. That was just good humor, wasn't it? I did leave a one off by the 112 by mistake. Strange cause I remember thinking, wow, seems like a lot of minerals in one area. Anyway, I thought I was going dingy when Shawn was reading my comments. It's kind of funny in a way. Yeah, everyone can't have fun and laugh just off of my humor, myself. We got to, some of you got to take a hit when there was. But I knew what you meant. I knew that you knew Alexandrite is a crystal beryl. But my copy did say that, so it was kind of funny. But remember, everything happens for a reason in this mystical show. In last sentence below from my 9.5 copy says, Alexandrite is crystal beryl. Strange that Shawn's copy went through differently. Anyway, great show. Some excellent articles on obsidian and selenite in Rock and Gem for November. I scored the Sleeping Beauty parcel. Came just in time as I think some of the cabs will enhance a large Morenci turquoise cab, which is peppered with pyrite in a cuff bracelet. Love that pyrite and turquoise. Yes. Natural force of nature that turns shell into concrete is due to acid rain, hematite, and eyes down. Yeah, the other neat thing I love, turquoise, copper. I actually had a piece. It was a slab of mixed turquoise and had copper veining running through it too. Oh, wow, it was something. Miss Cindy, another week has flown by here and we are again watching in better resolution. Oh yeah, so Cindy had a question again about, and I got directly, and Asif actually walked in here the other week and directly answered the question about the resolution that she was having, because this is now a new platform, so some of you may have questions out there in viewing it on YouTube. So and here is her reply after I gave her the answer, not of course from me, just quoted from Asif. Another week has flown by and here we are again, watching in better resolution as YouTube allowed me to change to 720p as suggested this week. HD would be even better. You had some wonderful specimens this week, Shawn. Lucky me, because I got the Sweet Home Colorado rhodochrosite parcel. Looking forward to seeing all the seven items in person. Acid rain and hematite. So you got both the answers right. Take care, everyone. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania, who would like to have kitchen counters made up from that Brazilian emerald material. Wowzer. That would be a really big wowzer. Indeed. Yeah. From Mr. Brad in Pennsylvania. Hello to the Raven, the polished YouTube host, that Shawn. All the Rock family and any new additions out there in YouTube land, and to the GSN staff, may all be well. Answers to trivia: concretion forms when acid rain washes and waves sort out the shell sizes along a shoreline, and everything gets cemented together somehow. Is what he writes. Not somehow, through a chemical reaction of the calcium carbonate mixed with the acid sulfuric acid. Never mind. Red hematite, colored due to hematite. A great show again. Nice range of specimens. Good camera work, thanks to Brother Dave, and the lighting. Oh, the great lighting. I believe Miss Ursula and Miss Barber have shed some light on a new subject. That Shawn is now avoiding use of the M word. Okay, I restrain myself from saying it. Yes, you do that because you know what? I forgot that word. And if anyone doesn't know, go to, I think, 2 shows back, and we talked about a word used in lighting. And you know what? I did not even want to try to retrieve that word in my memory, because all of that, I data dumped it right out of my brain, because there's a lot more other things I want to remember than that level of interest and knowledge of lighting. Doesn't really apply to what we're doing. Maybe a little bit. Nope, not doing it. By the way, I wonder if those rough diamonds fluoresce. I think colored diamonds from the Argyle mine fluoresce. Yes, they do. I imagine they sold. Don't know. But the yellow ones certainly would. The agatized coral was an interesting look. It looks like something that you might put in the Halloween show with like maybe some skulls and stuff peeking out. Yes, it would. So my prayer for you this week is that your rock garden may be weed free and your quartz specimens may be a garden full of irises. Wow, what a rockhound poet. But Brad, hope you have a day job. All right, be well. Brad. Miss Penny in Quebec with, of course, her lovely, our youngest little member of the Rock family. I think he's a 9-year-old, Mahalis. Hello, Shawn Raven and the rest of the Rock family. I hope everybody is well, Shawn. I'm very happy that your dad's surgery went well and he continues to make a speedy recovery. I have attempted to send a message the last couple of weeks, but I have also missed the deadline today, Tuesday. I'm sending it as I'm listening to your show to make the deadline. We received the donkey one from the trivia question and Raven's little onyx elephant for Mahalis. We both had a good chuckle with the donkey, and he really loved it. Mahalis wants to make sure I thank Raven. She's sitting right next to me, so she's hearing this. Thank Raven for her kindness and generosity. He put the elephant next to the one I had and walks by and admires it, the new one. I hope everybody continues to be well and hope to see you next week, Miss Penny and Mahalis. And that's the neat thing. I Raven asked me the other day, she goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm just standing here. She goes, what are you thinking about? I said, I'm not. I'm just looking at some the rocks, and just stop and pause and glance at our rocks. And she gets nervous if I start picking them up and things, because then she thinks I'm thinking about, for the show and selling them. And she's mad at me actually right now, right this very moment. She said, don't speak to me right before the show starts. How am I supposed to come out and be nice and friendly when she says that? And she never fusses at me. But well, I'm not going to show you or tell you the specimen why, but because then all of you won't buy it in sympathy for her. I know how it works. I know how it works. Believe me, the girl's not going without when it comes to the mineral specimens that she has and that I've gotten her. Penny says again, hi again, everybody. I just saw the part about the books. Oh, listen to this. I took a look at the few gemstone books I have, and lo and behold, I do have the Gemstones of the World, which I had purchased about a decade ago. Your uncanny show strikes again. Have a great day. You know what? I've been here much longer than 10 years. I have been talking about that book, and I don't know how long I've been watching Gem Shopping. You may have gotten it that long ago just because I had recommended it then. All right, let's see. I don't know why I thought that was going to be the end of the show. I don't know whether it is or not, or comments. No, it is. All right. The rest is all good inventory stuff. We have a winner. We have a winner. There was a lot of people with the right answer, so well done. Really, wow. No, there wasn't anybody that got the answer wrong. So how's that? Good job. The winner, though, can only be one, and it is Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Let's show you what you have won. This is something that, from the personal collection, because it's just not something you would normally see. Remember I told you when I was young and worked at the rock shop in Sarasota, well-known rock shop, still there today, son runs it. I cleaned and worked on an entire huge, many burlap bags of Tampa Bay coral. And so I became really, really familiar with coral and the agatized corals of Florida and learned a lot about them. This piece it doesn't have a true polished edge to it, just kind of a spray polish, but I didn't do it. This actually is an item that I got in an estate buy because it is really, really old. The blue chalcedony material you see in here is the rarest and most desirable color. This is where gift envy comes in. This is where trivia envy comes in, is something like this, because it's not anything that I've ever offered for sale because I've never had this color, and it's not anything that I could get or have. Look at these concentric patterns, and of course to the two halves. Look at that in this really, really, really rare color. And so didn't know who was going to wind up with it. So maybe Anthony has something special reason why he would be the one to magically get that. Look at what it would look like at Ballast Point. Now here is another update on Ballast Point, where the Tampa Bay corals were found. There, it was right at the shoreline, and you used to be able to mine them or dig them, so to speak. Not anymore. It's a park, and there's nothing but riprap there, and in no way can you even visibly see or attempt, even if you scuba dive, to be able to really dig any of this material without a major operation. And environmentally, that would be impossible anymore. So basically, no more mining. Mining is over with. And so what's left is what's left. And lucky you. And, well, not luck. Not luck. It was meant to be. And you had to answer get the trivia right. So everybody else, that's one of the many examples. You heard the other ones that people thank for that they have won. Opal parcels, all kinds of good stuff. All right, let's tuck that away. We'll be right back with the start of the show. So sticking with Tampa Bay coral, check this out. Look at this. Again, now, if I showed you this side or you were diving in the ocean, you would expect little fishies to be swimming up and around this, because look at that. It is, and it looks just like a coral head. I grew up in Sarasota, went in the Bay, had a boat, at 15 and 16. And, I did not scuba dive, but I certainly snorkeled. And then, of course, I had 14 aquariums later on in my life, half of them saltwater. So I know what kind of corals, what they look like live and otherwise. And look at this. This looks like what would be very close to a live coral. Certainly a coral head, if it was in the water, would still be very active with attracting fish to it and whatnot. Well, what happened 30 million years ago was just that. There was a coral head that had grown. Well, as the seas receded, coral heads trapped sand. Florida was raised up, basically, not really raised up, but the seas receded, creating Florida, which does not rise very much above sea level. And then you had the Swanee River and the Withlacoochee River come through and cut down, as rivers do. Look at how they created the Grand Canyon. The rivers cut down to the layer, which is about 30, 40 feet deep into the subsoil, back down to the original layer where those coral heads were. Well, fast forward 30 million years, all the silica from the sand dissolved over time, and that silica replaced the calcium carbonate matter of the coral heads, a molecule at a time, and then you wind up with this. Beautiful, beautiful different patterns of chalcedony and agate. As we come in and look closer on this, you'll see, first, this has a real polished edge. It's actually been put on a flat lap. Very beautiful. But look at this. This looks like so many cave patterns, even. Now, this material, though, is actually a cryptocrystalline quartz, most likely chalcedony, which is just a form of agate, so to speak. This is neat because it actually had formed in a way I have seen very few, and in two layers, like something came in between the two. And look at that. there we go. Look at that little pocket in there. Now, I find that the very edge of this material often will fluoresce. Look at those little crystals back in there. There could be some neat exploring with a little flashlight to check out those pockets. But this is, you could actually put it still in an aquarium, and it would really liven up the aquarium, give the fish place to hide. It doesn't hurt this material, can be cleaned up afterwards, and everything else. I have a great price on this. This is a big piece. I personally know that the diver that dove on this for this material, and with special permission rights, he since has passed on, but nevertheless, his coral lives on. We have many of his beautiful, beautiful pieces. We have one so big that it's out in the front yard in our rock garden, which is quite the rock garden. Anyway, the other cool thing about this for people like Mr. Brad, who loves fluorescent minerals, is the fact that this has stunning orange fluorescence. Yes, look at the size of this. This has orange fluorescence to it. So that's another bonus. Only $68. Only $68 on that. So awesome piece. Now, we're going to mix it all up, and so many new items. 103 2121. $68. $68 on that. And look how big it is. Look at how big that is. So, and again, the neat thing is, even for as thin as the edge is for polishing, look at that. You can see the light reflecting off it. It has a true polished face on it. Item number 103 2121. Look at this next item. This is not something I normally ever have. And we're saying, well, that's just a piece of amethyst. Yes, it is just a piece of amethyst, but it is all about sometimes location, right? Here's why you leave these. Item number 103 2121. This would be what out of the new items I asked if. Yeah. Now, this has so much more going for it than what you may just want to first dismiss. Now, here's the key. Made in Uruguay. Made in Uruguay. Now, the Uruguay part to this is what makes it so special. There's a lot of Brazilian amethyst out there, but being the fact that it is from Uruguay makes it a lot more rare. Uruguay actually has some of the finest amethyst there is, and some of the deepest colors. It's certainly not as readily available as the Brazilian amethyst. And I like to see, it's a law that Brazil has to have export stickers, and I don't know if it's the same with Uruguay, but I like to see those export stickers, because if I had a choice identical for a specimen for specimen, I would pick the Uruguayan specimen, just because it's a rare source for amethyst, and there's not as much of it coming from there. Now, that's why I have on here, you see, with the original label. This is old. I have had this specimen for 3 decades. I mean, I don't know how far it goes back. Now, the other really cool thing, let me show you, the celadonite. That is something that a lot of people don't realize. Did you get the rest of the info? We good? Okay. Now, here is the celadonite. Now, we learned a few shows back. Remember, celadon is a color named a word named for sea green, the sea green color. Now, as we come in close, what the mineral celadonite actually is a micaceous mineral. It actually belongs to the mica family, and it's a soft mineral. But what it can happen is it can intermingle with agate or silica. So it can be an inclusion in it. You have an entire green rim, look at this, of celadonite intermingled with quartz and agate. I did a hardness test to know what to see if it was just pure celadonite or whether it was an inclusion in the silica in the quartz, and it's an inclusion, so it kind of looks like a moss agate, but it's selenite, and it goes all the way around. Absolutely beautiful. I'm not even showing you the amethyst. The amethyst, look at the girthite. See these little black specks? Now, normally you buy a specimen, the information you would get, and that's what's so cool about this show and why so many people like it if you're new to watching it, is I take it to the step beyond. When you get, how many times have you gotten a specimen at home and say, well, I know that this is amethyst, but what are these little black specks? Or wonder what this green is? Or wonder what this other mineral is? I'm the one that tells you and does the research what these other little specks are. We'll take you one more look in at the girthite, because it's almost, anybody else, they'd be indistinguishable and wouldn't even consider bothering to tell you what they are. But that's not me. Those little specks under magnification, they're crystallized, they're cool as can be, and green associated with any geode is a rare color indeed. And to explain why and what it is as far as green goes is something else you won't get. So, all right, that specimen cost on it is only $58. Only $58. Okay, let me tuck that away and we'll be right back. Now, this is a specimen many of you are going to know and recognize without its major, what is majorly known for even being visible yet. But there's something I have to clear up. And even in mineralogy, the information is changing. And as science progresses and as the ability for people to have the kind of equipment that it takes to do X-ray diffraction or to do these chemical analysis is so much easier or less expensive than they used to be, even though they are still exorbitant, because I would love to have some of these really high-end, me and gadgets, things to do assays with and whatnot. So, point being, all right, the black crystals. Let's zoom in on one of these, or a group of them. I have always said, and these specimens have always been described from the Arusha area of Tanzania. I've always said that these black spot crystals are known as a type of hornblende called Schermikite, named after an Austrian mineralogist. Well, in 2012, they revisited the amphibole family. The IMA, the nomenclature society that determines the naming of minerals. And what they have determined is that these crystals that have long been known and called from the Arusha area, been called Schermikite for decades, well, it's not Schermikite. Oh no, of course, no. So, because there is, by a fraction of a percent, not enough sodium in its chemical makeup for it to be classified as a Schermikite. So, what it has been determined to be is Pargasite. Yes, these are now Pargasite crystals. And I even noticed that one of my information sources, Mindat, has gone in and what used to say Schermikite in all areas now says Pargasite. So everybody's kind of cleaning up their terminology and description of this material, even though the miners and the sellers still from offering this material from the Arusha area are still offering it and saying Schermikite. I don't blame them. You know what? I just don't blame them. It's such a small difference in percent that, why change it? But technically, I'm just letting you know, it is now being called Pargasite. Now, let me show you what the good stuff is. Here we go. Let's flip it around one side. Look at that. There we go. There's a ruby and a big one. As we come away from there, it just gets better. There is more ruby. And then look at, is this the back, the front? Look at that. Look at that 6-sided crystal right there. Look, yeah, it was hidden. I showed, well, what would be the worst side? I don't know. There's not a bad side to this, but look at the 6-sided crystal ruby right here. Now, let me show you. Now, this doesn't have any of Shawn's cheesy spray polish paint or enamel that I use. So you don't get the benefit of that look. So let me go in here and show you though. Look at that with taking a slice off here. I was the one that saw this. Look at the crystals. Look at those crystals because you can see them growing. And so when you take a slice across them like that, you can see it reminds me of a cross section of a meteorite, how you get all the different crystal growths. But look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right. So now all this is actually pargasite, we know now. Now there's something else. And we should really probably give them credit. We've always called the green zoisite, right? Or this whole mineral. Technically, this mineral that I'm offering you should be called corundum pargasite zoisite. Yep, that's what they say it should be called. It's corundum, it's pargasite, the black, and the zoisite, the green. And that's what the mineral name should be. But you can't go around calling it that, can you? No. So the Maasai, who this material is mined on their tribal lands, the Maasai people, the kind of the slang name that they use for it is eniolite. And what that is, it's not just like eniolite. I think it was kind of, at first when I first read it, I thought that someone was being funny. Because you know how we say like leave it right where you found it, or there's so many different minerals in it. It's just like, oh, it's just an eniolite. Well, no, eniolite is actually the word eniol is a Maasai word for green. So you know what? That actually gives me information, and I don't know, if they wanted to try to get that word adopted as the word for this entire specimen. Now, I'm not talking about just the green or just the black or the ruby, the entire 3 minerals together, and got it to be actually accepted in the trade as that. I would be for it. Because it would give me information, not only that I know that it is being mined on a Maasai tribal land, so I know where it's from and I know the color of it. Better than all we've been saying is ruby and zoisite. Well, that leaves out other items of information. So anyway, just thoughts of that. Look at the quality of the ruby, continues down into the corner. You could take many, many slices off of this. For those of you with diamond saws, look at the crystals continue there like Mr. Anthony. So yeah. Lots of material here. I have a price on this that will blow your mind. $68. Only $68. Yeah. So that is a super, super value. And one of a kind, I know that will sell. Now, I just want to show you just how technical some of these things can be. Let me just read this to you because this is important. We've sold a lot of this material and you've seen a lot of it. Eniolite samples very attractive. Okay, there does not seem to be an agreement as to the species of black amphibole. That's the material we're talking about, the black crystals, black amphibole that occur with this paragenesis. Schermikite seems to be the most common designation. But here we have, in the Schermikite thread, says the amphibole, blah, 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 from the eniolite, analyzed. Okay, look at this. This is blah, blah, for most of you. Okay, the identification tables listed in nomenclature of amphiboles, report of the subcommittee. Well, here's the report that this amphibole, it classifies as pargasite, not Schermikite, due to the sodium content at 0.7%, needs to be 0.4% to be Schermikite. So this is how technical they get in science when it comes to naming of items, and why you can imagine common miners could get it wrong, and even mineralogists to start off with. You have to have the expensive, fancy equipment to be able to really determine percentages down to things like that. Now, next, oh boy, I have a a treat. Yeah. Price on this one, was only $68. Only $68. Yeah. Yeah. Now, next. And this is an amazing next. Let me take a moment, set this up. Okay, so next is going to be item 1032421. Yep, I'm bringing out a world-class specimen right now. And we often, they don't occur too often, but they do occur when I call something world-class. We had some museum scolicites in here a few weeks back, and those were exciting. But nonetheless, let's talk about this. Okay, agarine. Agarine was named after the North Sea god Ager in 1834. And now, it was discovered prior to that, but the other names didn't really stick. The name in 1834 by a priest who found the material walking along the shoreline of a Scandinavian country of Norway, and he found some of this, and so the name stuck from there. It belongs to the pyroxene family, and there has been in the world of when they talk about type localities. They talk about localities that form the best typical specimens of its type. So we're talking about agarine. Well, the Mount Melosa in Malawi, agarines are some of the finest examples of what an agarine crystal would look like. Now, I have offered these before. Look at how large this is. Now, right now, I'm going to say I know Miss Gabby had gotten one, but it arrived and it was broken. And as much as she didn't want to send it back, she did. And so I think she missed out on a specimen. Well, this is our personal specimen. Raven's really, and I'm not even looking over her way, but we got to do what we got to do, and this specimen will go to right family, wherever it might be. Look at this. This specimen would be a lot more money than what I'm asking for. Look at these crystals. Look at not only the incredible agarines, but the rare and beautiful pure white orthoclase crystals. Let's go in closer on this even. I'm going to say the price right now so someone can be dialing. $138. $138. And talk about bang for the buck. This is a stunning intermingled crystal cluster, which I love. I personally love this look in a specimen where you have multi-directional crystals. You have, look at this. Okay. A perfect black and perfect white mix. What do they call that? That's something in the fashion world of those two colors. And this, you couldn't get anything whiter and you couldn't get anything darker. And wow, what a contrast. Look at these growing up the side. Now, one thing I first thought, I said, oh, the termination is an issue with it. No, when I got to doing research, I noticed the terminations of all the agarines in this area. And if we could go in as close as we can to the end of this, this is how they look. This is the termination. It's not broken like I first had when I first looked at it. No, those are, look at those little crystal points at the end of it. That is the way this material ends in most cases. And look at that. There's just a little formation of crystals coming up from there. Then look at this. Look at this little grouping of them. And there's some of them that are small enough that light has passed through them and they look like some of them look like a dark coffee kind of green. There you go. You see some reflections off of some right in that area that kind of give you some some idea of another kind of color tone to them. But boy, this is a striking contrast of colors being just in black and white. Now, this is just on some sticky goop, which it almost wants to balance on its own, but it wouldn't take much just to put it on. Look at it, and it's a large specimen. Oh, great, great. Look there, Dave, great photography. The other specimens that I had and have offered before one of them had parasite, remember? And we talked about parasite being actually discovered and found in another place in the Muzo mine of all places. And remember, parasite also was very radioactive. It was a radioactive mineral. Not very, but radioactive. It stood out. It needed to be mentioned. And then also what can be found on these are zircons, tan zircons. Now, the neat thing about this is it is in its purity of just the black and white, which I think is really attractive for it to be only those two. And that's why this is our personal specimen of that batch that we had gotten. And so enjoy it, because at only $138 for this look, as we come away from it, you can see against my hand just how huge this is. This is a cabinet size and quality specimen. Look at that. That's really beautiful and would easily be found in multiples of that price. Now, let's keep going. There's so much to do. Item number 1031921. Look at this. If you had been wondering if I was going to ever come up with anything like Elmwood mine fluorites, then you were right. I do have one, and it is an amazing specimen. Now, there's so much to say and talk about. Tennessee. Okay, I used to live in East Tennessee and graduated high school in East Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee, of all places. And location of this mine, kind of in middle Tennessee. But the important things now is this mine, which was a zinc mine, and it was only discovered in 1969. And in 1969, so it continued on producing a lot of zinc, a lot of tunnels there. Provided work for a lot of people. And I remember when they closed the mine, the miners went to work that day and were told that day, not any sooner, and were literally sent home when they arrived. And it closed altogether in 2015. That put an end to crystal collecting from the Elmwood mine. They used to sneak these crystals out as they'd find them in lunch boxes and whatnot over the years. And then other times, because the mining company, of course, does not see value to mineral collecting. Oh no, it just holds up production. When you have a zinc producing like that, in the end, guess what? They went bankrupt or went insolvent. The mining operation did as a whole. And I don't know what's good or bad, but here we go. Look at this. Look at this sphalerite. Look at this chunk of sphalerite right here that the mine is so well known for. As we go in closer on this, the mine is known as a zinc mine, right? Well, what is more zinc than a zinc sulfide as sphalerite, a very primary zinc core? Oftentimes, of course, we think of sphalerite as that beautiful orange, bright gemstone. Well, in the reality of it, it can be just a very dark, opaque mineral. But let me show you, and let's see what this does. It has a nickname of Ruby Jack, and that is when sphalerite, let's see if we can pull out some of the color in this. When sphalerite, okay, you can see the orange color tones here, becomes a ruby reddish type of color tone. So look at that. There we go. Look at that. All right. Thank you, sir. That captured enough for me to be able to show you. Look at that. That was black. It was black looking, wasn't it? But I knew I knew otherwise. I knew that with enough lighting that it is not actually black, that it had a dark reddish orange color tone to it. Now, look on the back here. These little dots aren't just little dots. Those are gorgeous little calcite crystals that will fluoresce, little calcites on there. And that's why you can literally, quote, and I'm just going to say it, play with your rocks and mineral specimens. You get them out. You didn't know that. With magnification, look at all your specimens again, and you'll get lost for hours looking at the closer parts of them. Look at, there's a little bit of, those look like either, well, there's dendritic quartz there, but those are calcites on top of dendritic quartz. Now, here's another way you can spot elmwood fluorites. They often have these little areas of color spots, just little areas of spots of color. Now, sometimes they can be chalcopyrites, but you can see these flare out and they're actually blue. They're actually blue. And that's something, look at that one. You can see the blue color right through that little, let me get a spotter there. You can see the blue right through that. This has got what you're looking for. It's got really the purple edge, almost creating a phantom look to it. You also have hoppered growth right here. Look at this. You have a hoppered growth where the outside crystals didn't grow as fast as the inner crystals, leaving a depressed area in the crystal face. This just so much. Oh, there we go. There's some of those really neat little blue areas of another color. Much to explore about it. Much to explore. Price on that, only $44. Only $44. Oh, wait. Is this the one? Hold on. Let me see. Yes, this is the one. This is the main thing I want to show you. Look at this. Let's go in right here. This is a reversed hoppered growth. This reminds me of what I've seen in gold crystals. This is not an inverted that. Feel how that's soft. I feel like you can reach your hand through the TV. Look at that. It gives you a window actually into the fluorite. But look at the surface. You see the surface growth like that? Now, let me show you. This is the only one I have ever seen and think it is very unusual. I try to do some research on, there's another one. There's another one right there. It's a raised crystalline growth, kind of like the reverse of a hopper. And then I think there was one more I had found. And in one, two, there's two right there. In the world of, and is that, yeah, there's the three right there. In the world of fluorites, that is something I haven't seen. So for whatever that's worth, I'd like to know more about that kind of formation on that. So only $44. Now, next item is 103-2021. 103-2021. And let's just show you another. Yeah, a lot of times you only get one choice, but here is a second opportunity. Now, this doesn't have the raised hoppered areas. It's got incredible, some beautiful, beautiful purple color tone to it. It has druzy quartz. Now, it also has a wonderful sphalerite crystal right there. Look at that beautiful reflection. Wonderful sphalerite. And look at drusies over here. And then, oh, there's some of that blue pigmenting, which I think is really unique. Look at that iris right there. The Elmwood mine, only specimens are going to be what is in the market. And if you do not have, Elmwood is a classic one. It is one that you say, yep, I have a fluorite from the Elmwood mine. Everyone's going to know it. It is a, well, it's part of my Made in America collection. My two big collections that I I guess, built on over the years were all the members of the garnet family being my birthstone and anything to do with garnet. And the other was specimens right here from the USA. And that is part of them. All right. Now, boy, we have, okay, this next item is one that oh yeah, I'm sorry. Price on this one is only $32. $32, which when I don't know why I think of it at home and it seems like, okay, that seems real. When I get here, I think, wow, that's so cheap. And it really is for a mind that's closed. Goodness. All right. Now, this next item is one that I can promise will be, well, I shouldn't go that far, but I can pretty much assure everybody that you do not have it, that it will add another mineral to your collection. If you do have this already in your collection, I'd like for you to let me know. All right, this is item 1032321. 1032321, and it's in a old perky box. And you can tell by the yellowing of it. And it's with a old label, which I remember, keep all labels. Look at this, descloisite. And from the Burke-Aucus mine in Grootfontein, SWA. Now, we're gonna talk about everything here. But first, SWA. All right, now, first thing that came to mind was Southwest Australia. But Grootfontein and that do not go together, nor the very famous Burke-Aucus mine. So I looked up SWA. You know what it stands for and was a legal abbreviation for the country, Southwest Africa. Southwest Africa was the name of this country up until 1990. In 1990, it became Namibia. This label alone, that's why they're so important, tells me that this specimen was collected prior to 1990. Now, we think, oh, that sounds recent, but you realize right now that already that's 32 years ago. And in the world of mineral collecting, I mean, that, mines open and close their entire life and can be here and gone in less amount of time than that. So very important label, really helps to put an age to this piece. Now, let's talk about descloisite. Descloisite is a lead zinc vanadate. So the primary elements in it are lead, zinc, and vanadium. And it's a hardness of 3.5. And in 1854, it was named in honor of Alfred de Cloizeau. And that's who it was named for. Now, see, that's why naming could give you information if the name was the name of the person that found it. So many minerals are named in honor of someone else, then it skews that entire reasoning for information. So, I don't really, it would matter to me maybe who found it, but it doesn't matter to me who it was named in honor of. And in this case, yeah, Descloizeau, he was, had to do and supported the, minerals and all that, but he wasn't the discoverer at least. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion. Let me show you the specimen now. This is heavy, okay? It's heavy for the size it is. The crystals are phenomenal. The crystal shapes are phenomenal. This is a world-class specimen, and the availability of this quality in the market is extremely limited. There are some that you can find, and if you do, the Burke-Aucus mine, B-E-R-K, is the most desirable location that you want your specimen to be from. And now let's look at the back. As we come in on this, here is what is also so important. You have both colors. You have the color range that descloisite is known to come in. And look at that. Now, look at these. Look at these little devils. You see those little white crystals? This is where it takes me so much time to enter when I get these specimens in the States and whatnot, is because they'll come in with, like you see that, okay? It says just descloisite. But I want to know what these other specimens are. What are all these little white crystals? You're going to want to know, especially when you pay some money that you have to on these, you want information. Now, if I was looking at a scalp, I'd think, someone's got some lice. But at looking at a mineral specimen, no, totally different. They're calcites. They're calcite crystals. And you know what allowed me to find them to start with? It wasn't my failing eyesight. No, I went to the closet. Oh, yes, I did. I went to that closet and I turned on the light, and boy, those calcites lit up. Nothing else did. Descloisite is not fluorescent, but the calcites are. And so then after I discovered them tucked back in there, look at that. I went and looked at them with more magnification and discovered more about them and spotted them. So look at this. So you have the incredible color red, and then right over the top of it, look at the intense, it's almost a bluish black. There's also calcites that showed up down in the hollow down in there. There's calcites, which can be found with your fluorescent light. Look at the stacking of the crystals in that particular formation. There is so much to see. This is a very old specimen, obviously not only from the box, but of course the information from the SWA. And price on this piece is going to be an excellent buying opportunity on something that, the mine closed in 1978. 1978. Now, think about how few of specimens are in the market anymore when you have something that's closed in, even that long ago. I mean, I graduated high school in 1979, and that does seem like a long time ago. So, you have, due to the amount of time the mine's been closed, just adds to the rarity. The price on this, $148. Only $148. And that will add a real jewel to your collection. And you also get the yellowed perky box. And we will pack that properly. All right, let me do that, and we'll be right back. Look at this. Now we see goethite in so many different ways. We see them in like specks inside of geodes. We see it as like broom straw looking formations inside of quartz. We see it as, goethite, those botryoidal formations that's tough to get the dust off. Or look at this. Made in the USA, Colorado goethite. Yeah, you can find these incredible sprays, some of the best, coming from Teller County, Crystal Peak, Colorado. From my personal collection, look at that goethite spray. That is impressive. You can see it in my hand. It's got some nice size to it. It is, there's no dust or anything that comes off this. Those are true crystals. And look at this, emanating from one point. I like something like that. It really displays well and would grow great with a iron oxide collection. It's the most common simple iron oxide. Hardness of 5 to 5.5. Goethite is a polymorph of lepidocrosite, named in 1806, here we go again, in honor of, not by the person that found it, no, it wasn't named it but for that person, it was named in honor of German politician and geoscientist Johann von Goethe. So that's why I say, it doesn't always give you the information that naming something after someone should. I don't know. I think localities are always a great idea. Of course, my favorite, cavensite, named exactly for what is inside it: calcium, vanadium, and silicon. So anyway, price on this guy, only $38. I have never seen another one. So let me tell you, it's just for the amount of money, something kind of special, especially coming from a very unusual location. they have found some of these sprays over towards the Lake George area of Colorado where the Amazonites are. But so for it to be from the locality that it is a much more desirable situation. Item 103, 1721, 103, 1721. Now, in Asian countries, and this next item, you're going to find that it is known to bring good luck with the trunk up. And this one happens to have the trunk up. Look at this carving. Look at this carving. This is Lightning Ridge Opal. Black opal in a lot of instances you would hear that called, but the entire piece isn't black opal, just a portion of it. But nevertheless, it is a true Lightning Ridge piece. Look at all the color in this. Look at all the color. It's, carving quality, so you can expect inclusions, but there is a lot of color. Let's go a little closer on this and look at that. Look at that. And then you have actually quite a bit of color overall. Look at even the tusk area, the mouth area. Wow. Trunk up. Good luck. Those of you that collect little animals, what a wonderful one to have in opal. Wow. Price on this, only $44. Only $44. Yeah. Think about what it would cost to get the piece of rough just to be able to carve it and luckily come out with something that, you could never do it. The piece of rough would be well beyond that by itself. Next item is 103 221. Boy, my eyesight. Yeah, 103 22 21. Look at this. This is one I have never offered before. It is a natural color citrine. We've talked about how rare natural color citrines are. And a lot of people don't realize that the citrines that you see are that bright orange color in those big cathedral geodes. They're irradiated. They're treated. They go through a process of treatment to make them citrine. They do not come out of the ground in those geode forms as citrine. None of them. All the citrine ones are created to be citrine. True color citrine, you are looking at it. This is some of the finest color of natural color citrine. I've showed you other natural color. Most natural color citrine almost has a tannish color tone to it. Let me show it to you just against the white so you can get a feel for exactly the color that it is. Now, this is not the only reason why I think this is so special. There is something far more special about this. Now, I can see it somewhat right here. Let's see if the black shows it off a little bit better. And I'm talking about phantoms. This is phantom citrine, and you can see it. Let's see. Dave's going to find them for you. We're going to see if it's better against the black. I think it's going to be better against white. So let's try the white. And now it's a matter of getting the focal plane, right? And me showing it. There we go. Boom. There we go. There they are. And you can actually see them from every side, but just the easiest. Look at that. Okay. Now, so you see these multiple layers there, and if we go up to the corner, you'll see where they angle back. That is a phantom citrine crystal, natural color phantom citrine crystal. Go try to find one. I did. I went to that monstrosity of a take your chances gambling called the internet, and there was, it gives you an idea of if things are available out there. And in the world of phantom citrines, no. There was nothing that showed anything in a strong phantom. Here we go. All right, here's another angle. What did I tell you? On every face, look at that perfect chevron. There's what, 3 or 4 of them? You can see them, right, Dave? I'm not just imagining them. Yeah, see those right there? In the perfect chevron formation, following the shape of that crystal point. There you go. You can see those 3 or 4 lines there as well. And they're visible, again, from every different face. You just have to look at the irises just popping out in that. I could have added iris to a description. Look at that. This has more and more to offer. And again, there we go. Look at those. Look at those phantom striations right there where the crystal has stopped and started in growth, allowing a difference of color to occur. What a great piece. What a great piece. I'm just going to move it over here and sit it right there. Wow. Self-displays as well. All right. How about the only one I have, the only one I've ever actually seen, and your chance at that for only $48. $48, rare. I actually even have the exact mine it's come from, and it is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and it's from Luana in the Hot Katanga. So that is additionally special because oftentimes, again, you don't, most people say, oh, well, it's Brazilian. Well, no, I haven't seen any Brazilian citrines, period. They make all those. Item number 103, 1521, 103, 1521. And what a special item here. Going back to the Tampa Bay corals, which I remember so much that summer cleaning all those corals, having to wear heavy gloves because the outside of this can be really, really sharp, have really, really sharp areas. And they still do. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. As we go inside, Dave is taking us right inside of there. And oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at the back of that mine shaft. You have a wonderful crystalline formation. I see botryoidal formation there. How cool is that? Yeah, that is a layer. That is really neat. I just got to thinking, I had found, remember that story I told you, those crystals in the Bahamas. I sure hope I'm not selling one of my hard found crystals from that island in the Bahamas. Wouldn't be worth it. But anyway, now it came out of what I had in my Tampa Bay material, so I'll go with that. Look at this. The neat thing about this is basically it hasn't been sawn in two. It hasn't been sawn. So you can either leave it like it is or saw it open if you want and discover it. But I kind of like it left natural. And that's what makes it kind of different because I seldom am able to get those. $21 in the market like that. $21. Now, this next specimen will show you item 103. 1121, 103, 1121. This next specimen will show you why I cut my hands working with this material and cleaning it that summer. Look at the jagged edges to this piece. Look at this. Now, if this was on the beach and you stepped on it, you would be worse than sand spurs. Let me just show you. I just felt my finger. Look at that little sharp edge like there. They're all over. Look at how sharp this is. Now, if you saw this, is there any way that you would think that there was anything of interest or value or specialness to it if you saw this along Tampa Bay or along the beach? No, absolutely not. But with a little knowledge, see, there's a couple of those natural holes. Look at all the holes around this. Look at this. Okay, as we explore this piece, what do we come across? Boom! Look at that. It is actually hollow. And, oh, wow, this is has even more going on with it. Druzy chalcedony And look at how deep it goes back inside there, actually. Wow. That is, even back into the deeper corner and recesses, is hollow. It is hollow. That is so neat. Now, let me see. Okay, so there's a little giveaway right there coming to the surface. A little bit of giveaway there. If I saw that, it'd be a little clue. But this piece, what a fun piece. Leave it like it is, saw it, open, be up to you. I don't know. I think it's one of those that you have to leave that one like it is for a educational value, you know, to show people what it looked like and can be found, and play the old, okay, do you see anything of interest in this rock, you know? And then when you show them that, I don't know, that I always think about how can I hook people's interest into the earth sciences, and something like that, I think is always a way to do it. You know, it's like the rocks that you look at and think are ugly, you have no idea what they may really look like. And like Anthony says, eyes down, that's where the rocks are. By the way, again, Ballast Point, where this came from, on Tampa Bay, you can see the port of Tampa from where these were being mined for so very long. There's now a pier there. There's riprap. They brought, you know, to keep erosion away. There's no way that you can recover or mine any material anymore. $18 on that. Only $18 on that piece. Now, this next item is special in many, many ways. Oh no, I'm good then. No. And it's item number 1020721. Now, those of you that know that Raven has a wonderful, very talented 22-year-old daughter that has painted since she was a little girl. And she has discovered that she enjoys painting crystal specimens. Well, Miss Gabby, one of the our regulars to the Rock family, has, I think, scooped up most of the collection of Christmas ornaments that she painted with different crystal specimens on them. And we all want to see a picture of that Christmas tree when you're done. Well, she decided to branch out and paint some other items besides the ornaments. And this is one of them that she came up with. I totally leave it up to her. And she goes and to the internet and gets a picture and then paints from it. Now, she actually decided to paint a couple of the hardest items to paint there is. And maybe it's because of all the different colors and palette is what attracted her. But the two items that she's done, and we'll show the other one next week, it's an opal, basically a pattern of a Australian fire opal. This is the ammonite with the very precious gemstone called ammolite on the surface of it, of course. Now, we know that most ammonites aren't found that way. They don't have that beautiful, beautiful iridescence to them. But capturing color, whether of opal or anything iridescent like that, with a camera is difficult enough. To paint it is just as difficult, if not more, to really be able to catch the feel and the colors of it. I happen to know that I think Miss Gabby has a complete, I haven't seen a picture of it, but has a complete ammonite, one of the ones that has outstanding color tones, which only come from Canada, and there's just a certain geological area that the finest ones come from, and with the most valuable colors being the blues and the violets, because it takes a thin layer of the aragonite, and it's aragonite that the surface of the shell changes to, and that's its fossilization process. And in the process of that calcium carbonate shell of the ammonite changing to aragonite, okay, changing to aragonite, which is like a polymorph of the calcium carbonate. Aragonite forms in layers, laminated like. And it is when light passes through these layers is what creates the diffraction of light. Different than the way light is refracted for opals, a completely different process to get to that. Now, to get the purple and blue colors, what happens is the layer of aragonite has to be thinner. And it is the thin material that will create the blues and the violets. It is the thicker layer material that creates the much more common colors of the reds. Just the opposite opal. We want red and opal. Well, in the ammonite, the red is the more common color, along with the orange and yellows. Now, reason being, it is thicker layers of the ammonite, the thicker layers of the aragonite growth, that the diffraction of light will give you those spectrum of colors. All right, now that said, the purple and violet, think about this. Underneath all that weight and pressure, what's going to survive over the other? The thicker, redder colors from the aragonite that are formed by a thicker, stronger layer of aragonite, or the thinner layers of the aragonite that produce the purple and blue? Well, doesn't take a rocket scientist, since there seem to be so many of them around now, to figure out that the weight will crush and destroy the thinner layer ammonite material that produced these colors. It didn't hold up. So there's a much less gem quality of these colors than there is of the thicker colors. Because what can happen is it can just crackle. You can get some of these colors, but there'll be so many lines of damage done to the surface that they can't recover the material well without doing surface treatments and epoxy resins and other things, which can be acceptable if it's all disclosed as it should be. So that is a big lesson right there, if you're looking for a lesson as to why the purple and the blues of an ammonite are so much more valuable than the orange and the reds and the yellows. And it all has to do with the thickness of the layers of the fossilized calcium carbonate, which converted over to aragonite. The thicker layers being able to survive more so than the thinner ones. All right. Remember that. Now, not only did she paint that incredible top, she painted the inside, and she also painted another incredible one that shows the compartmentalized. This would be like if it was cut in half, and it shows the compartmentalized sections of what an ammonite looks like. It's related to the Nautilus family. And you can see these also on the surface of them and see the different suture lines and the colors coming from them as well. So this would be a great box if you wanted to line it with velvet and put your jewelry in, put it signed and dated, and a really neat item to show off or to have in your living room as a knick-knack box. It's a real American work of art by an American artist, a young artist that is finding out that she has a talent and is experimenting with it and has done quite well. Now, she, from her own little collection, wanted to throw in an example, so this goes with it, an example of what the fossil is actually like. And this is This is the fossil. Okay, this is the Madagascan ammonite. And you can see the little separate compartments. And this would be when a saw splits it in two, because this is the exterior. And look at this one. The exterior, you can actually see, look at that, what would be the gemstone variety, ammonite, right there in that play of colors. So really neat, great example. And here is another half, and you can see colors there as well. So with the hooks, and yeah, these are actually sterling silver. Wow. Well, my goodness. Sterling silver, which I didn't even add those to the description, but we can. These, yeah, she wanted to add these to go along with the box. So here's the whole deal, the whole opportunity, the hand-painted box, the earrings to go with it, and I'm offering that at a starving artist price, basically. Starving artist price. And wow, for the amount of time that she had in it, because she told me, you know, they have to learn, and it is truly, you know, if you took the time that she has in it by what she'll get, well, she'll learn. She did a beautiful job nevertheless. Only $128. $128. And to do 2 complete drawings by hand like that for that kind of money is really wonderful value. And, you know, it's all about American artistry. You know, something like that, you go to Indonesia or whatever, which I've been to all those places, and I know, you know, for what foreign labor gets you. But that's the difference, you know, foreign labor versus do you want something made by an American artist? I think there's something special in doing, in supporting that, the artistry of right here in America. And, you know, you know that it's going to someone that in this case is a young and struggling artist like so many, and as opposed to, I guess I'm just going to tell you because I've seen it, mass produced artistry where you think you're getting something special and you look at the factory floor, so to speak, and there's 100 people in there just knocking out carving after carving, or one item after one item, just duplication by hand on a massive scale. To me, that is not artistry. So take advantage of that. Okay, we have a lot more to get to, so I had better get to scrambling here. I have got treasures galore. Wait till you see this next one. Item 1030921. And this again, now let me tell you, because excuse me, I've mentioned it, how many times that I've bought, you know, estates. Who buys rock? So, you know, I had a jewelry store and then a buying office for many years. And, you know, the word got out to other jewelers that, okay, if you have any rocks or minerals for sale, you know, call them, they'll make an offer at least. Because other than that, people whose family, you know, has collected rocks and minerals, their dad or mom or someone did, and then most people don't follow up. My son didn't want to do or collect. He's not interested in rocks in any way. So if I pass on, he doesn't want them. Well, there had to be some place for these rocks and minerals to go. And so I would get sent opportunities, and I paid actually real money. Now, over, you know, 40 years of doing this, all these years of doing this, a lot, I have no idea what I paid for some stuff, or, you know, so then you get all kinds of things with it. But at least I pay something. Other than that, people would just, I don't know, like leaving the stuff and giving it away or throwing it in the backyard. Here's another item I picked up in an estate buy. And just like that, look at this. It was already in the perky box. And wow, that is a stunning amethyst, a Brandberg amethyst. Now, you can always take it off the bottom. They put it on with glue or whatever. I'm not touching it. and I don't know which way they had it displayed, but in there. But now let's go in close because there is phantoms. Brandberg in Namibia is known in the Rongo Mountains. Their amethysts are known to have phantoms. And actually, let me show you something. I just see something else, a unique formation. There we go. Dave zooming right in on it. Look at that. You see that surface formation following that crystal pattern perfectly? That is actually a phantom right there. Oh, back. Oh, you're right. Right there. Is that the one you're talking about? Look at that. Look at that. This is a way, I didn't even see him when I was looking at him with backlighting. This is actually a more effective way to look at this because they're actually coming to the surface. They're actually showing on the surface and giving themselves away that way. We'll backlight them here in a minute. Now, look at that intense depth of color. That is amazing. Okay, let me get my little flashlight here for a moment and let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can find. Wonderful. Look at those colors. Now you get to see the clarity too. Boy, there's some great clarity in this one on the end. All right, so look at that color zoning and let me look at the blue and that which is so desirable when you get the blue with the red flash. This level of there we go. There's the phantom. I wish I had a third hand right there on the right hand peak inside that amethyst. You see a duplicate darker purple peak. Let me see if I can. No. And as you turn these, different ones will show their phantoms and in different ways. So let me just flip this around one more time because, you know, if I had access to the camera and the screen and the ability to do this all day long and then record all my mineral specimens, I would just get nothing done. All right, thank you, sir. Now, the other thing, I did not check these for it, are Brandbergs are known to have in hydros, which are little water bubbles in them. If you're interested in that, check it out. It may have those water bubbles. I did not look at it for it. $58 on this. Only $58. And the yellowed perky box. But that tells you, you know, sometimes people say, well, you can't put a state on a mineral specimen. Well, yeah, you can, because versus something brand new that you go get a show, it may be previously owned by other people, but it still arrives to you in a way that is sold to you as like it is new. When you get an item and it is in a yellowed box that has old label on it, then you know that it is something that has been collected way previously and is truly an estate piece coming down the line. Now, next I have, oh, I forgot about this. 103, 1021, 103, 1021. And this is another one that came in a yellowed perky box. And let's not pull up the graphic on this just yet. Let's just look at this for a moment, please, sir. All right, I'm going to show you something, and I should, if I could stop here and just say, as a trivia, guess what this is. It would make for a great trivia question, but I want to follow through, give anyone an opportunity to buy it. So, you know, I'm not going to do that on this, but it would be fun to do that, except I don't think anyone would get it right. Okay. I don't think anyone would get it right. This is something that took research and is something that is extremely unique and potentially quite valuable. Now, this is another one of those items that you can say to a family member that thinks you're crazy, or a friend that thinks you're nuts for picking up things like this and telling them, oh, I spent, X number of dollars on this, and they're going to think you're nuts. Well, that's because they don't know what you know and what I know. Let's show you and pull up the information on what this really is. Look at this. This is a sapphire. This is a monster 725 carat fully crystallized sapphire. Look at it. You can see the 6 sides to it. What's happened? What's going on the outside? Guess what? It is covered in silimonite. Yes, isn't it funny? We mentioned silimonite, at least Miss Ursula did at the beginning of the show when she was talking about how silimonite was a polymorph, which means same chemical formula but different crystal system. Silimonite's a polymorph of kyanite and andalusite. This is, and when you feel it, and if you understand silimonite, that it has a waxy type luster, and it feels just like that. You can see the little reflections off of this piece. This is a stunning item from Tamil Nadu. And let's go in real quick on show you. Look at that. This could cut a gigantic, potentially star because you have the center there. Wouldn't that be amazing? Look at the pearlescence to the silimonite. So this outer coating is the silimonite that is formed around that sapphire crystal. A very rare, unusual locality and place for it to be from, and for you to have an opportunity at 725 carats. Price on this guy, you're gonna love it. If you really want to collect rare and unusual pieces, it's only $168. $168. I'm going to tuck that away. We'll be back in a minute. You may know what this is. I should do what is this and see how many of you get it right. Because, all right, we have this. Now, let me show you. This is what I just showed you. Are things so different in the world? No, they really don't look from an outside experience, looks to be all that different. But there's a huge difference in these. Who would have ever thought inside this? Because I just want to go over this again because I think this is one of the most amazing hiding events of a precious gemstone that there is. I mean, look at that. For there to be that large of a sapphire inside that, you should feel the weight of that. It's extremely heavy. And personally, I really do think of what would that look like cut. That would truly cut a large cabochon, and due to having that crystal formation, there is a really, really strong chance that it'll be a star. That to me, the thought of that to me is so tempting. Would in my life I ever get to it? I don't know. I guess if this didn't sell, at some point I might be tempted. But I wanted to make one more mention because we talked about this being silimonite on the exterior. You realize that Specimen is someone that does deserve something named after him. And in 1824, it was named in honor of him, the discovery of silimonite. He's a professor of chemistry and geology at Yale. So yeah, he deserved it. Now, think of this and why silimonite could form. Corundum is Al2O3, all right? The chemical formula, Al2O3. Silimonite is Al2SiO4. So basically, if you take the silica part out, it's Al2O4 plus silica. So it is so similar to Al2O3. All these elements are available and right there. And that's how similar minerals can associate themselves and form next to each other or within each other, because you have all those elements in the big brew of magmatic material and material that is crystallizing out at different temperatures. And this is just a great specimen and representative representation. Yeah, we can pull the graphics up one more time. I think it's certainly worthy of this piece. That's of the what's next, but of the sapphire. Yeah, it is certainly worthy because I look at this in two ways. As if I cut the bottom of this off, oh yeah, I definitely looked at this thing, and for the amount of money, it'd almost be worth the risk. Cut the bottom of that off, and you have look at that, a flat, large working area. And then this large dome, the sillimanite is much softer, so you can just feel it. It feels waxy and pearlescent, and almost good. And it's cool, but it's not so cool that I would not be tempted to cut a huge cabochon. Even if it was gray and had a star, that would be so cool to have a huge star sapphire. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Now, one other thought is I am surprised that this piece did not get treated, because this is more of a Gouda, what they call a Gouda kind of color, what they look for to do those kind of treatments and create something monstrous and treated from it. So I'm glad to see. That's why this is an old piece that has remained in its original form. You saw the old box it was in, and it's a real treasure. And I think it's such a treasure that it was left just like it is. And no one would know that there's a 700 carat sapphire underneath. Only $168. I think I'm going to regret that price. All right, let's go to now this item that you had seen. Yeah, okay, so you see how similar colors are? Look at this. This is Tampa Bay coral. Tampa Bay coral, but this is a really special piece. Dave, take us inside. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those natural colors. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And here's the other thing. I already tested it. There's, look at that. There's a little opening in the back, and yes, you can put a light right in there and it shines from out of here and it looks the coolest, just the coolest. And, things like that don't happen too often where, without drilling a hole or anything like that. So, yep, you can light that with a nice, softer light and have something special. Thank you, sir. Now, if nothing else, it also has fluorescence to it as well. Price $24. Only $24 on that. Now, item number 101-8521. 101-8521. Let me show you. Here has got to be one of the best bargains. Now, like we re-showcased that polished iris piece, right? And Miss Gabby loved it. She said, "Oh, I missed it. So glad you re-showed it." This is another one of those pieces that I couldn't believe had not sold. Now, when you look at it like this, it might look like a humble jumble of whatever, but that is what the crystal world is about. Let's go in a little closer and show you what this is really about. What is really going on. Take a look. Do I see green right there? Yes, I do. What am I looking at? I am looking at tourmaline, dravite tourmaline. Lots of them intersecting. And then I have smoky quartz. I have also, look at this. Look at this mineral growth up the side of this piece. And I was checking to see if, look at the bottom. So you can see, look at this. See the crystal? Here, look at the crystal shape. You can actually see it's a portion of a six-sided crystal, then has some additional exterior continued growth. Now, so here's the backside. You can see some interior growth of the dravite right there in that crystal. Now, let me see some color here. Let's see if we can pull out any color in these tourmalines and see if there we go. Look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, you have to look at that. Look at the green. I have on there dravite, but I did not inspect it like this. That is regular, nice green tourmaline, actually bicolor to tricolor. That is coffee, yellow, and green. I'm telling you what, I did not see that. I did not see that. That is great camera work because Dave has been able to bring that out. Thank you, sir. As we continue along this piece, here we go. Look at these. Look at these. I feel like I am almost like on the side of a mountain. Like I am, really exploring this. Look it back in there. This is discovery on your television along with us because I have not done this. Look at those tourmalines. This is why I go crazy over this stuff. Look at that. I have not seen that hiding in there. And you can see the color green. I have not discovered that. I think Dave gets credit for that one. Oh yeah, he's jumping up and down. Yeah, rightfully so. Look at that. This is, I can guarantee you the miner did not find all this because, the lighting we're having to do to be able to bring that out and discover that back in there. They don't have 10,000 feet up. They don't have even electricity. So in these areas of mining. Now I'm going to go right behind. Wow, this is putting that little light I have right behind it. And what a night light that would make. Look at exploring that. That is great stuff. That is great stuff. And then I'm gonna wrap this around one more time over here, Dave, to look for a little tourmaline. Let's go mining some tourmaline again. And come back over here. And we've got a nice jumble of some quartzite actually clinging onto there. But, that's having fun with rocks and minerals. That is having fun. That is not just about show and tell. This is about show and tell indeed. Okay, thank you, sir. We'll quit playing, even though I could do it all day long. That was fun. That was fun. That was a neat treat. All right, the price on this, $44. $44. And you can have all the fun you want. You can also take slices off of here. I mean, for those that cut, I just think, I don't know, that a slice drilled. By the way, whoever wanted that slice drilled, I got that done. Whoever picked up that beautiful, beautiful piece that I cut really thin. All right, let me show you. I have next an item 911419, 911419. Now, I'd actually pulled this from us selling it because when I realized how inexpensive I was offering this piece for, I realized the market was so much greater than what I was selling it for. But I decided to, let y'all still have an offer on it. Look at this. This is what's so cool. You have the negative impression of where the termination of another tourmaline intersected and grew, but didn't connect and grow into this other crystal. And actually, you can see that this crystal would have formed around the one here, but it didn't make a molecular bonding with the crystal. So the crystal in the pocket just freed itself from it. But it's neat to have that negative impression. This is what contacted that one just like this. And it's neat to see both. This is a perfect termination. No damage. Everything is there. Classic tourmaline. Beautiful big shoral crystal. And a wonderful, wonderful specimen. And look at how large that is. These now are going for a lot more money than what I realized. But I'm still willing to offer this at an amazing deal. If you're interested, $78. Only $78 on that one. And that is a tourmaline crystal. I tell you what, no one will be able to beat you on that. You will have the biggest shoral crystal of anyone. Oh, let me show you. I have item 1022821. 1022821. Take a look at this. Look at this. This is, look, I don't know where to start. But yeah, Missouri, Reynolds County, orange fluorescence. Look at this calcite crystal down here. We'll start with this calcite. Little beat up and bruised, but so many of them are when they get them, taking them out of the mine. Often happens in the process or in the geology of the mine itself. It happens, and even not any man's fault. Look at these other calcite crystals. Look at these tucked in here. Look at the incredible, what do we have? Chalcopyrite here. Do we have a 1022821? Yeah. Could we change chalcedony to chalcopyrite? Incredible. Yeah, that's the right number. It's just, here we go. Calcite and chalcopyrite. Isn't it everything else right? Yeah. Gram weight's right. Yep. Chalcopyrite. And chalcopyrite separated is the difference chemically from pyrite with the addition of copper. But when you do, there's a totally different crystal system. So you do not get any cubes. And you don't see any cubes in here. Look at these. Look at the formations of the calcites, though. Plentiful. Lots of little calcites tucked all around. How fun would that be to go looking at those? You can see the different iridescent colors of, this is natural iridescence too. This isn't any heat treated in an oven, create iridescence on the chalcopyrite. Natural. You heat this one up with the calcites and wow, you would have serious issues. By the way, most fluorites, like at the Elmwood mine, a lot of that material will form crystals at only 85 to 130 degrees Celsius. That's it. And that is truly low temperature. You're talking about, a couple hundred degrees. And so that's where you get a lot of those type of crystals formation. That's why you can get many crystals that will crystallize and then be dissolved and recrystallized, and you get those different layers of coloring. It's because of the low temperature solutions that form them. So look at all these beautiful chalcopyrites, druzy quartz here. Oh, look at this. We didn't even see this. What side was this? Let's zoom in here. This is another entire, look at that. Another entire display angle of calcites and orange fluorescence. This, I bet, looks stunning with the different, there's other ores here too. Look at that. There's another ore mineral right there. There is potential to have several other minerals there. See this gray material? That could be galena or marcasite. What a specimen. What a specimen. Price on this one, take advantage of it. I can't do any better. I mean, well, okay, I'll pretend it's an early show and go. Since we were going to do a sale, we haven't had a chance, still don't. So I will discount it just a little. Only $58. Only $58 on that one. And that is a real beaut. And by the way, the chalcopyrite, when it gets like this, if you ever do kind of want to brighten it up, all it takes is your little toothbrush with, well, in this case, you can use some like bicarbonate of soda, just something a little abrasive on the surface of it, and it'll really kind of take a little bit of the oxidation off if you want and brighten up those chalcos. Now, sticking with that area, 101-9421, 101-9421. Let me show you. Look at this one, dolomite. Now, dolomite is a calcium magnesium carbonate. So it's very similar to calcium, except instead of just calcium carbonate, it's a calcium magnesium carbonate. And the It was named after French mineralogist Guy Dolomieu. And he found the first specimen in Egypt during Napoleonic's expedition in 1798. This one is from the Sweetwater Mine in Missouri. And look at that. So again, when you look at the crystal formations and you see triangles and you don't see cubes, you're looking at chalcopyrite. And in the dolomite versus calcite, that can get a little bit trickier to be able to determine the two apart. But I use everything from fluorescence to hardness tests to be able to tell the difference. So this is sitting on a really nice bed, well crystallized dolomite with the chalcopyrite spread really nice and evenly across the entire specimen. Just a wonderful, wonderful display specimen of a made in America piece. Price on this one, again, I have not discounted this at all. I will right now and take only $58 for it. Only $58 on that one. Beautiful opportunity. Okay, so since we were talking about it as part of our trivia question, let me show you the next item, 1020221. 1020221. Check it out. The red hematite and stilbite. And I love the way these just track in two basic lines of crystals. It makes for a very dramatic look. A very dramatic look. Maybe it's what the Martian landscape looks like. The red rocks and you kind of look like that, and it look like some of the terrain. But I tell you what, be amazing to find some crystals on another. Let me get to thinking. Wow, this is beautiful. All right, so on the basalt, you can see, always look on the basalt. You might pick up another mineral if you get the green, because many times you can get the selenite, probably right there, filling that little vesicule up. All right, price on this one. This is a really outstanding specimen. And look, and I'm going to offer that opportunity discounted as well, $68. I did want to get in some sale priced items, so I guess I'm doing that right now. Only $68 on that. And now, okay, I see. Let's see. Yeah, we have a few minutes left with you. That it's time. Let me, yeah. Well, I can't believe they didn't take this. No one wanted this. Wow, that's an awesome specimen, but I'm not going to show anybody that. You've seen it before, you turned it down, now I'm going to pout. No, maybe I'll show you next week. But it was a crystal cluster with aquas in it and like 4 or 5 other minerals, and I'm surprised no one took advantage of it. But I have something else better as far as what you may like. 101-3321. 101-3321. Check this out. You know you had to see a zeolite somewhere along the line. And now this is a still bite lover's dream, because that is what you are mostly seeing here. This is a major size crystal for stilbite. But as we go in closer to it, you can see it's not just stilbite. It is stilbite with some foreign crystals on its surface. Look at them. You don't notice them until you notice them. And then boom, they're there. Look at those apopholites. Look at the apopholites clinging on to there. Sprinkled around everywhere, actually. As we get to looking at this, look at the apopholites. Here we go. Look at the white apopholites dotted all around. And you can see from a side angle just how much these big crystals rise up from the surface and just are so dramatic in their location. And has a lot to do with specimens, is how dramatic do they look in their angles of display. I mean, when you're talking about, people talk about $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 specimens, preparation time is a long, long time, because a lot has to do with eye appeal and just that, how does it strike you? And this is a one that really, to me, strikes me because of these large helinites. Then you have this neat little, large stilbites. Then you have this little area over here, which I'm looking at. These could very well be little helinite drusies. Oftentimes these form on a bed of helinites. This is an impressive stilbite specimen that, look at this, the size of it, cabinet quality, cabinet size. I love all, you can see all the ones reflecting. Those are all the mirror apopholites on that. That's amazing, cool look. Price on it, okay. I'm gonna put the last discount on this, and that's one that I could easily take back home. Price on it, $78. Only $78 on that guy. And let me see, as what I want to show you, I've got a weave. We've got some, well, let me think real quick. Okay, what have I got here? So many items. All right. Okay, I have a Crabtree emerald ring that no one has wanted, so we'll pass on that. But you can always put in your comments that you want to see something if I've had it or whatnot. Some copper sunstones here that if you want it. I also have a deal on. You know what? We haven't done anything really inexpensive. 845-218. 845-218. Sometimes I pass things by just because I think, maybe you won't be interested. But you know what? I usually am wrong. Check these out. Check these crystals out. Now, remember, you have to learn somewhere along the line if you want to step up and do other things like messing around with color change, with treatments and whatnot, or just to do this is facet grade spodumene. Facet grade spodumene. And look at this one. This is trifane, the original name for yellowish, and now it's kind of just acceptable as spodumene in general. That's a beautiful crystal. This is, you can see the pinkish down along, so, technically kunzite, but you can see how dichroic it is. How about both of those crystals? If you didn't even cut them, they would be a great addition to a collection, because I'm offering both of them for $10. $10. Yep. Everything must go. So, now, we had people interested in some parcels, but also I had some individual stones. We'll do we'll do some of those maybe next time around. But I have right now for you a amazing opportunity on chlorite and quartz. This is item number 1005221. 1005221. And in this opportunity, you get two faceted, look at these, chlorite and quartz. And I love chlorite. Chlorite, look at that. Look at that, look. Boy, cut correctly, that makes such a beautiful reflective display. Oh, they both stand up on their own. That should cost more for that. A really gorgeous look. How about this? Total weight of 63 carats, and price on them, I am going to make them only oh, I don't know, what sounds like a deal? It sounds like, oh, I don't know, 40 cents a carat or so. Let's make them $26 for the two. $26 for the two. And that is a huge discount. All right, as without getting into items like pseudomorphs that take a little more time to talk about, there is one really cool item I want to bring back and show you. I did a new and improved on this. Let's see what you think. Item 739217. This is known as the calico cat. The calico cat. This is a natural cut I took. And this is the way the slice came off. And look at that. It is stunning Mexican rhyolite jasper and a beautiful, beautiful quality material. And the way it came off the saw, it just looked like a cat sitting with its tail curled around it. And it actually looks like it in either direction. Now, as we go in close, let's show you what the rhyolite looks like. And I just put a matte finish spray on it, as you can see, so it brings out all the colors. But look at the bird's eyes here. This is a volcanic material, remember, that also allows opal to fill in at times into the rhyolite. And in this case, you can see these little openings have filled with a silica material and different color material. And so you get iron oxides, you get manganese, you get everything, different colors. This is extremely unusual and a very desirable pattern. And have never seen anything else like it. Price on it. We don't have a stand for this, do we? I have with stand, but I actually named it the Calico Cat. Okay, yeah, we have a stand for it, so we'll include a stand and make the price on this only $58. If you like unusual items, this is certainly, yeah, that's a perfect stand for it. This is certainly, yeah, only $58. Look at that. The Calico Cat. Okay, without getting into too many other projects here that will take some, well, you know me and how I like to talk. So the next, anything I have left would take a little more information than I want to give, except I do have one very last one here. Last item of the show. This is item 1023021. World class. This is a stunning mirror apophyllite stilbite from my personal collection. And look at how large this is. Look at the size of this. And as we come in closer on it, you can see that the apophyllites are gigantic. Look at the size of those crystals. And then they're mirror apophyllites, which is even additionally desirable. You see that reflection in them? And look at the stilbites, some bicolor ones there. That's pink heulandite you have for a base popping up through there. Look at the size of the crystals. This is one impressive piece. You have, oh, look at the celadonite. Look at all the green celadonite on the back. This can be displayed standing up. It can be displayed from the side. Look, you even have a little bit of a mint green color tone there to it. It's gorgeous. I'm going to include, no, I'm going to let you get your own stand on this. I'm going to let you get your own stand on this because I don't want to, the stand I have, I don't feel confident in. But what I will do is discount it so you can go get one. Price on this one What an exceptional, exceptional opportunity at only $148. That's the lowest I am going on that piece. This is huge. Look at that. If you go and look on the internet what something this size and this quality, and make sure it's quality for quality, match it for the beautiful mirror apophylites and the size of the still bites and that look, and you will find that you're picking it up a quarter for the price, for a nickel. So take advantage of it. We're out of time, but we are coming right back with the trivia questions. The trivia questions, we always ask usually 2 of them. We made it a little difficult. Originally it was 1. And let's see how you do. It usually has to do something with the show. So hopefully you can always take notes. Just don't rewind or fast forward to get the answers. All right, first question. What metal was mined from the Elmwood mine? So what, of course, we always think the Elmwood for fluorite and crystal specimens, but what was their original metal that was mined at the Elmwood mine? That's question number 1. Question number 2, what was the origin of the name of the mineral agarine? What was the origin of the name of the mineral agarine? That's it. Good luck to everybody, and I will look forward to correct answers. Wow, that was a lot of fun, and I mean that. And you can tell that I have missed all of you, and I apologize because I know, especially like when Peg said that, I make her week and how important the show is to so many of you, and also knows it's the very worst and last thing I ever want to do is to miss a show for many, many reasons. But nothing I can do about it. It's just one of those things. So, when I feel good, I feel good. And you guys make me feel good in all your support. Can't thank you enough. Now, all the new YouTubers that are discovering this show, I hope you got a good taste of what it's about. We're about a lot of information, a lot of little bitty lessons you'll get to see along the way. And if you want a real broad education, and like I said, I should come up with some kind of little diploma or something. If those of you that go through all 30 of the How It's Done episodes, because truly, if you watch those, you will come out on the other side with a level of knowledge that would get you a job working in a jewelry store easily. I know. I used to do the remount program for the sales corporation. I traveled 60 stores every 90 days in the entire Southeast, and as far north as Evansville, Indiana, west as West Memphis, Arkansas. So I got to see what the caliber of people that worked in a regular kind of mall jewelry store for a level of education. And I tell you what, our camera operators, our sales reps, our director of production, you name it. There's not a single person here at Gem Shopping that doesn't have a level of education far exceeding all those stores. How can you not when you see as much jewelry? And in the case of our smaller family here, like Kevin and Dave and Austin, they get to see the earth science end of it, the crystals, the minerals, the rocks. They know from the ground up the process of even prospecting, of what it takes to find the crystal, cut the crystal, mount the crystal, create the ring for it, and then eventually into one of all of yours lucky hands. So stay right here with Gem Shopping, because the level of here's the thing. Even if you don't have money to buy some of the more expensive jewelry items or gemstones, wow, just to look and see and hear the information about them is a lot of fun. Then, if you want to be able to buy the $19 items and whatnot, and they get to the Earth Science Center, we have that for you too. We have that for you too. And all the education in between. So, for those of you, again, discovering this show, couple important facts. You can leave a comment or answer the trivia anytime. Just go Shawn@gemshopping.com or go to gemshopping.com. You'll find me right on the homepage. You can click on that. That's how you get to not only this show, but the archive shows. The shows that we've already done is usually 3 or 4 that you can access as well. And you can order anything at any time of day if it's available. Now remember, items often will sell out quickly, but there are ones in there like that iris quartz piece that Miss Gabby overlooked and everybody else. So we said, we'll show it again on a whim because we really kind of want to take it back home. And so she noticed it. So there, if you think something, don't assume that it's automatically been sold. A lot of times it won't be. Doesn't hurt anything. I've never met a friendlier bunch of, I don't even want to call them sales reps. They're really sales consultants. And, we've known some of them in the showroom for over a decade. A lot of people here have been here a long, long time. So that's how you gain the knowledge. That's why I want you to keep coming back to this show, because you come here, this is where it starts. You'll move to the other levels as you explore gem shopping. And in the end, again, you'll come away with an earth sciences knowledge all the way to a fine jewelry knowledge. And boy, that's what it's all about. Keep watching. I have true stories to tell, pictures to show. I'm working on, and I waited till winter and until I was feeling better, but I am tracking on a true gold discovery. So I've shown on this show some of the micro gold that I have found, but I think I found a larger amount. And if nothing else, you know what? It gives me hope. It gives me hope to be healthy, to get in the woods, to just, use all that passion. And all my life, it's what I've dreamed about. All that energy. And who knows? If you dream it, you believe it, you never know what you can create and where you come out on the other side. I want all of you to take care of your health. Believe me, I have struggled with mine, and it's most important. So do whatever it takes to stay safe. We all know what that is, and I want you to be back for every show, and I want all of you to continue your passion and love for the earth sciences. Make sure every week that you step on Mother Earth. Don't just walk on the concrete sidewalk, the concrete driveway. You get off in a concrete parking lot. By the end of the day, think about it. Did you ever step on Mother Earth itself? And make that connection. Make that connection. And we'll start there. I have a lot more to share, a lot more incredible specimens to share and sell, and a lot more fun. God bless all of you, and I look so forward to seeing you at the next show. Make sure you sign up for the subscribe to this show. It doesn't cost any money or anything, but you'll be notified then of any cancellations or interruptions in the show, and any when the show is posted as well. Make sure you do that. All right. See you next week.